one that you guys have all seen and was brought to your attention, which is it clearly states in the park manual that children are not allowed to have recreational books in the testing room, and that they cannot at any point, and it is only after, and that's in big bold print, only after are they allowed to have books in the testing area, after all the tests have been collected and everything has been done and the children have are finished with their tests. This is the same policy that has happened with New Jersey Ask, and one that I, as an administrator of the test for numerous years, have always gone by. I know that I have heard that the policy that will be put in place tonight will allow children to be placed in the testing area and read recreational books. This goes against the park manual. This goes against what the state of New Jersey in Appendix C, which is where in the park manual, it is from the state of New Jersey's little area, states that cannot happen. My question to you is, what is going on with this? How is this allowed to continue when you are going against what the park manual is clearly stating? Does this mean that then all of the tests are invalid? The children that are in that area are valid? Does it mean that you are putting the teachers that administer the test, because as a teacher for a long time, we knew that if we followed the park manual, that then we would, if we do not follow the park manual and we sign all these security measures saying we are going to follow it, that, then our license could be compromised? How, what goes on with that? Now, as I have spoken to you previously, my child is a child with a 504 that needs special attention. He is being placed, if he is going to be placed in an area where he is expected to be quiet for a long period of time, that is an issue. Why would you put him into that area for that long period of time when you can just find an alternative setting? I understand that, I have refused my child, but all we are asking in this group is that you find an alternative setting for our children. Not only for the special needs students that may be out there, but also for the regular education students that are there. You have clearly stated that you do not want to put our children under undue stress. By placing children in an area where they will now have to sit and be quiet while others take the test, you are putting them under undue stress. You are singling out my child and other children and saying to them that, telling the others that they are not taking the test. What happens when they go to the lunchroom after? What happens where they go other places? If you put them into a separate area, then that will be alleviating some of the stress they face, because then even when they are in the testing area, they are under undue stress by having to sit there extremely quiet while others take the test. I know my son personally does not want to affect anybody else who is taking the test, and by putting children into an area when other children are taking the test, you are putting everybody in that room under undue stress that doesn't need to be there. I understand the need for supervision might be an issue, but there are other ways to address that, with administration taking over duties or other people taking over duties to watch these children. I really believe that this is something that you need to consider when making this policy, and I thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Carter.
Good evening. My name is TJ Whitaker, and I'm a parent in the district, and I'm also a teacher at Columbia High School. I think it's maybe 12 or 13 years now. So I'm here tonight to speak on the park. I attended the last board session on February 2nd, which was the first reading of Mr. Eastman's proposal. And initially that was bothersome for me because it was the first kind of public meeting as far as the board, as far as I know. I think it was the first public discussion we had as a board. there were so many other districts that had already had these discussions and the policies were already in place. So the fact that we were having this discussion just a month before the test was to be implemented was somewhat, bothersome. Also at the last board meeting, there was a bit of a contradiction. The information that we received from the parent information night at Columbia High School said that we, as parents, could not opt out of the test. However, when I attended the board meeting on February 2nd, board members clearly stated that parents have always had the right to opt out of tests. And that sometimes it was just a phone call, at other times it was a letter, but that was enough to suffice. So I decided I had to come back today to get more information and more clarity. At the last board meeting, it was stated, again, parents have always had a right to opt out. I'm here today to support Mr. Eastman's proposal from February 2nd that acknowledges the state's testing, that acknowledges the district's kind of mandate to administer the test, but as was previously stated, it also acknowledges the parent's right to refuse and opt out. And that's what I'm here for. In a democracy, right, an informed citizenry is paramount. If parents are informed of their right to opt out and they choose to still have their kids tested, then so be it. But to not be informed of that right is borderline criminal. All right, it is, the board would be taking a very paternalistic position in assuming that it could make the decisions for individual students and families, all right, and not informing us of that right. So just as an aside, again, my daughter, I haven't written my refusal letter yet because I wanted to see what the board had to say tonight. It will be forthcoming. But there are a number, I'm really here for my daughter's friends and other members of the community who are unaware of what's going on. They don't know what the policy is. The state is flip-flopping and going back and forth, and people want to know. Just today, my daughter said to me, "Oh, Daddy, some of my friends want to know, Kendi, get me out of the park, get me out of the park." And that's not the way it works. I will say that I have urged parents to attend the meeting tonight, to view on television so that they can be as informed as possible and make an informed decision as to whether they want their children to be tested or not. All right, so that's what I want to leave you with. Please, all right, just inform us, right, of our right, and let the chips fall where they may. This should not be determined based on participation rates, or funding. As taxpayers, we have a right to make those decisions for our children on our own. Thank you.
No, I'm not speaking.
Ms. Dia?
Me, I'm not speaking.
Okay.
I don't know how my name got on the list.
Okay, fine. Okay, on next topic, we covered the most extensive topics with speakers. We have a speaker, Andrew Wasden, on homeschooling. Mr. Wasden.
Hello, my name is Andrew Wasden. I'm a resident of Maplewood, and I'm a homeschooler. I know earlier we were all talking about sports, and sports is very important to all young men and young women who wish to participate in them. So I believe it is necessary for homeschoolers to participate in the extracurricular activities and sport clubs that Columbia High School does have to offer. I know the board did push back the vote or decision to April, but I thought this was important enough to bring to the board's attention before that happened. To have homeschoolers participate in this, it would allow homeschoolers to be able to participate in things they can't do at home because they're homeschooled. Sports isn't really available to homeschoolers, neither are extracurricular activities, but those who live in the community and in Maplewood, South Orange, and our district should be able to participate in those things because they live here, no matter how they're being educated. I believe it is important for them to be able to gain that social aspect and to be able to participate with member of their peers and in activities that the district has given to all residents of this area. Sorry, I haven't come that prepared. I did email a couple of days ago, and I did get a response from Mr. Bennett, and he said it would be important to mention mention how the board would be able to monitor how the homeschoolers keep track of things, and how my mom does it. She keeps a portfolio of everything, because if I'm homeschooled and there's no record of anything, how am I going to go to college or get a higher education? So she keeps record of all the things that I do, which is mainly the core courses that the public students at Columbia are doing. And she records all those down in a big portfolio that she will later present to the college board or a college when I send in my college applications. So I do believe that homeschoolers should participate in sports and should not be denied that option just because they are being homeschooled. Thank you for your time.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? What year are you?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior, and what sports are you interested in?
I used to be a fencer. I'm currently a swimmer and a cyclist.
Thank you, Mr. Watt.
Thank you.
Next, we have Anna Edelman, Student Council.
I hope Matt's still there.
And if you wish, Mr. Girardi, to accompany Ms. Edelman, be happy to accompany you.
You want to sit there? That's good. Hi, my partner in crime. Hi, I'm Hannah Edelman, and I'm a South Orange resident, and I teach at Columbia High School. And I'm also the co-advisor to Student Council with Dr. Beth Dalzell and Suzanne Ryan, who's been working with us all year. And hopefully you've read the Village Green article, which was really terrific. We're very excited. This year, we have a state student council officer in Matt Girardi. It was the first time since the 1950s that we actually have someone that ran for office, and little did we know, and Matt can tell you a little bit about that. We have been involved in state student council for the last 15 years, or so we thought. Matt can tell you about that too. We have a long-standing history at Columbia High School in regard to state student council that we were really quite unaware of. But Matt, Harrison Woods and Anu Fowley were very, very much interested in state student council office and really sort of got the ball rolling. One of the things that we're anxious for you, because we were pleased that you supported us, and of course we're very excited that Matt won the election, is that Matt will be going to the National Convention in Albuquerque in late June, early July. And we're looking for funding. So anything that the board could do to assist us would be very well appreciated. It's going to be $1,400 for Matt to go there. He will also be going to the regional conference, which is in upstate New York, which will cost us about $150. We're looking to do some fundraising if necessary, but again, we would appreciate any type of funding that we might be able to convince the board to assist us with. I'd like to introduce you to Matt and let him tell you a little bit about what we've been doing over the last month or so.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Edelman. My name is Matthew Girardi. I'm a junior at Columbia High School. I've been a resident of South Orange for all my life. One thing that we can see in this room tonight is that we have a lot of leadership in this community. We have a lot of people who like to speak out, to speak their mind, and to do what is right. Columbia High School is no exception. We have a lot of student leaders there. We have a lot of people who are willing to reach out and willing to do things that other people in other schools wouldn't